We welcome everyone to BizChicks.net TV, the place to be for tips, tools, and strategies to help you do and build a profitable business that's fun to run. We cover everything inside.
Rachel.
Yes, we cover inside and outside. And today we're going to be talking about the inside, your interior space. And our guest host today is Miss Sherry Burton Ways. And she's going to talk to us about our space and how to align our space with our purpose. And this is a take two for this, and we appreciate everybody jumping in. Sherry, take it away.
All right. Well, first of all, as always, Terry and Fran, I just want to honor you for the opportunity to speak and talk to your audience once again about their interiors and understanding themselves and how their interiors reflect themselves. I'm Sherry Burton Ways, for those that may be unfamiliar with me. Have a new look this year, no hair,
Good look.
but new year, new look. We're pivoting some things, but basically Sherry Burton Ways, and right now my company's called Peaceful and Productive Environments, but we're doing a pivot and we will be making some changes. But primarily my role as CEO, designer, certified feng shui specialist, design psychology coach, whatever you want to call me, is to help people be able to educate themselves about who they are, their purpose in life, and to create interiors that are going to be reflective of their lifestyles authentically, peacefully, and abundantly. And I do that through a variety of different things. Feng shui, which is the ancient practice of Chinese placement, is one. Interior design, holistic design, when I'm looking at body, mind, and spirit, including color therapy, looking at how color interacts within the interior and how that works with making you a better person. 90% of the time we spend indoors, okay? And some of your viewers are either working from home in their home offices, or some of them may have a great opportunity to work in a work environment that allows them to be able to view this program, or you may have replay viewers. So whatever the situation is, I believe that interiors should reflect who you are, your brand, what you come to the table with, and all that good stuff. So today, what I wanted to talk about was an opportunity that I had a few weeks ago to attend. I don't know, Terry and Fran, if you guys have this concept called meetups out in California.
We do.
Okay, cool. One of the, I'm in the Washington, D.C. area. So one of the meetups that I was involved in, thank you, Terry, for giving out my website address. Cool. I went to a meetup called Journey to Your Soul's Home here in the Washington, D.C. area, and it was put on by a very progressive real estate agent. And she's been following me, which I had not known, for a couple of years. She gets my emails and she's like really super cool, and has been trying to touch base with me, but she's a big fan of feng shui and all those great things. And the title of her talk was looking at your soul's purpose and how that is in alignment with your home. And she was talking about it mostly from the real estate perspective, which is very interesting to me. Mm-hmm. And I went and attended this and, thought it was interesting. It was a very, very high level discussion though. And I'm not sure if everybody that was at the event really could follow it, but I was just vigorously taking notes. And I thought that it would be a great idea, as, we've just recently entered the new year, to talk about our soul's purpose, our purpose in life, our mission, and they may not necessarily be what we're doing to make a living for our 9 to 5. Or in our businesses, we may have a bigger purpose or a bigger mission, or it may be. So I wanted to, just kind of share with the audience today a little bit about some of the things that I, pulled out of that discussion, and maybe answer some questions. And also, discuss an opportunity in which you can create a sacred space for yourself that may answer your soul's mission and purpose in life. So one of the exercises that I did last year, the last 2 years for me, has been very, very transitional for many reasons. And I'm still going through my transition. But I'm very pleased and happy with how things are going, because now one of my biggest missions this year is to take better care of myself. Okay. So that's more from the health side, mental and spiritual side. So my mission is to live an abundant life. Okay. And I'm doing that from not only my, and if people want to look at me on Instagram, you'll see that I think, oh, okay, awesome. So I look at abundance in all of those 3 areas. So I'm talking about my body, my business, and my interpersonal. Okay. And what I'm doing with my body right now is I'm juicing. And I am, yeah. Yeah, I'm juicing. I am eating more smoothies. I gave up coffee. And anybody that knows me knows coffee is like my medicine. I have to have that. It's going on 2 weeks tomorrow that I haven't had a cup of coffee. I haven't had Starbucks. And I'm like, no, I'm actually pretty full now. And I've been I'm doing meditation, went to yoga and all that this past weekend. But the bigger point that I want to make about that is I've had to make adjustments in understanding. Now I'm renting right now, but a home, but in the future, or in, wherever I am, even now, is making the adjustment of my interior space. Okay. Whether I work from home. So this is my home as well as my work environment, to be in alignment with this bigger purpose in my life. Now let's define purpose for a minute. What do we think of what a purpose is? What is our purpose? What is our mission? And I'm not talking about it from an ego point of view, but I want to talk about it like deep down inside. What is our gut saying about what our mission is? And if you have a business and you have a bigger mission, or even if you're running a nonprofit, is a very good one, is understanding what a purpose is and what our purpose is in life and in our business or what have you. And then once you kind of break down the purpose that you want to define for yourself, okay, whether it's business, personal, or what have you, you want to kind of think about or back into how that environment that you're either living or working in is supporting you or not supporting you in that. Okay. And I'll use me as an example. All right. So I'm now juicing and eating raw foods and healthy, creating a healthier lifestyle. So I had to make some adjustments in my kitchen to support that. So, for example, I didn't have a juicer. Didn't have one. So I had to, purchase a juicer. I had to recreate my kitchen, which I don't have much control over right now because I'm renting, but I had to make some adjustments to my environment to support, raw food, vegetables, to be able to grind the vegetables and things that I'm using in my juicer. And then, think about now composting and using that in my garden or something. So I want to, if I had my own kitchen in my own house, I would have it set up in such a way that I would have a place where I can put compost, for example, okay, to try to be able to recycle the waste to do what I have to do. My home office, I mentioned when we first got on the broadcast a little bit about what I do and my mission and my whole thing. So what do? I adjusted my home office to support me in that mission. So I have an essential oils diffuser where I'm diffusing different essential oils that keep me motivated, keep me energized, such as peppermint. Okay, peppermint's a really good one to kind of uplift you, energize you. Lemon, good for creativity. So I have that going on. And then I have a lot of bright colors in my space. I have all kinds of motivational things that I have up to kind of keep me going. So what does that do? That supports me in creating my mission and creating an environment that makes me both peaceful and productive, which is basically what my company is about. So it's all about, when we're thinking about our own personal mission statement or our own business mission statement, is kind of leading it back to, okay, we have it all in our head. We have our strategic plans. We have all these great things, but how are the environments in which we are cultivating the mission or creating our mission? And we may have, if we're lucky enough to have an office with several people in it and we're creating a team, how is that team interacting in that environment that supports that greater mission? So what do we, did you have a question? I'm sorry. I'll keep going.
Let me turn my on. What about a minute here? Oh, there we go. I noticed that if your space is not clear to do whatever it is that you do, you're not going to be productive as much as you could be. Because even just little simple things like you walk in a house and you see stuff out of place is a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
And I just realized that when you said about, what is your purpose in your body, your business, and your interpersonal life, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So if my purpose is to be healthy, fit, and trim, then my kitchen needs to line up with that to create healthy, fit, and trim. If I'm hearing this correctly.
And not only that, and then I'll get to this question that I see that about a team setting. The other thing too is, a lot of us exercise in our homes too. So that contributes to health. So do we have a space, for example, that is allowing us to do yoga at home, allowing us to work out? I have clients who have fitness rooms and centers in their homes and those kinds of things. And those, again, go back to your mission, your purpose. Maybe I'm mixing those words up, but your purpose, facilitating your purpose is that, we have to stay healthy in order to facilitate our purpose in life.
So your space needs to be able to do that. And I just saw that. If I want a peaceful rest, then my room needs to be peaceful and not chaotic, where stuff, I just learned this in the last few years. Don't bring any bills and paperwork and office stuff into the bedroom, because that's where I'm supposed to sleep.
Correct. We don't want that. We don't want anything. Bedrooms are just for rest, relaxation, and other things, obviously. But anyway, we want to keep the bedroom sacred. Now, someone had Terry had a question on how do you create peace with a team setting? Okay, so how do you do that? It's all about seating arrangements, circular seating arrangements. I might have talked on this program before when we were talking about feng shui or some of that other stuff, is talking about when we're sitting or furniture being rounded so that we have good energy circulating. In a teamwork environment, it's all about if you have a conference room or a small table in your office and you're collaborating, everyone's sitting at the table, and we have around us quotes on teamwork and our mission statements, our purpose, our goals. It is, so to speak, when a lot of marketers or business gurus get out there and they say, what is your why? So you're basically matching the why you're doing what you do with your environment. Okay. And in a teamwork environment or a meeting room or anything like that, we also want to cultivate colors to kind of create an atmosphere where people feel relaxed, where people feel comfortable, being able to express ideas and express their input on projects and things like that. So those things are very important. So I think that in any environment that you're in, that your why has to match the interior. The interior has to match the why or the purpose. So I invite the viewers to really sit down and think about, what is your purpose? And what is your personal mission statement? Jack Canfield has a really great book called Success Principles. And I took that, was reading that book, I guess it was last year or the year before last, and did finish. It's a really thick book, or the one that I have is really thick. I went through this exercise in really determining, what is my mission? What is my purpose? What am I here to do? And then from there, it became clearer in understanding how I show up in the world and how I show up in giving my all as far as my services. But I want to be able to replicate that feeling, that idea through my architecture of my home, through the cleanliness of my home. Of course, we don't like clutter. Okay, the basic principle. Okay, I have nothing broken in my space. And the minute something's broken or off or out of kilter, I get it corrected. That's just, I just have to do that. I surround myself with things that I love, whether it's photographs, pictures, artwork, those kinds of things, because that helps foster me and my purpose. And I don't necessarily have things around me that are not beneficial to my well-being. Okay. So, and that could be food. It could be people. It could be distractions. It could be, I don't care. It could be something from someone who I consider might be dysfunctional. Whatever. I don't care what it is. Just have things around you that you love. And, and also natural and artificial light. Now, here, I'm in the East Coast, Washington, D.C. area. And, we get a pretty fair amount of sun and so forth. But when I grew up in upstate New York, where it was like gloomy. It's probably snowing right now. And, overcast and all that kind of stuff. So then that just starts messing with my, my feelings and my thoughts and, moodiness and all of that. So even if I don't care where you are in this country, make sure you have a lot of good light. So, for me, light feeds me. I like big, bright interiors. So the last house that I lived in before I moved to this house did not have light coming from both the front and the back. And that just started, I had to depend a lot more on artificial light. But now the light that I get in this space is just very much adequate, and it just really warms me in the spirit. So, yeah, you have any questions?
I like, and these three principles that I heard you say, I think we should tweet them. One of the things that we talked about doing here is we always quote other people, like Jim Rome and Napoleon Hill. Well, we need to quote Sherry Burton Ways today. We need to quote, those are great principles. Keep things around you that you love. So I posted it on Twitter just now. But we need to quote those things that, not just kind of let them go by. Oh, that was a nice quote. No, when you hear it, write it, do it. And just like you said, put it up. Like if I see, sometimes we have to put a reminder on the refrigerator. No clutter, or put something to remind us to maneuver into wherever we need to be until we get there.
Right. So, when we're looking at ourselves and looking at our basic needs in life, shelter is one of them, right? So, when we're thinking about ourselves from, shelter does basic things. It keeps us safe. It gives us a place to sleep and a place to eat. But, when we look at shelter, even our workspaces, we need to think about these from the standpoint of, hey, I'm really interested. Say I'm working a 9 to 5 right now, and I'm interested in starting my own business. Okay, what do I need to have in my interior space if I'm going to be a home-based business to support me in creating a mission or a purpose, I should say, to be a nonprofit organization helping women who have been traumatized. All right, so let's take that as an example. What do you think we would need to create a space that would support that purpose?
Okay, this is a class question. Everybody gets to participate.
That's right. I want the audience to participate here. If right now, women's issues, women's, stuff is really big. Okay. So I just threw out a question. I am working a 9 to 5. Okay. I am building a nonprofit, and my purpose is to empower and serve women who have been maybe abused and traumatized. I know at night I've got to create a nice home office or something to kind of get me started. What do you think I would need to support me in that effort in my environment?
I'm going to venture out here. A nice space that has lighting, you know what I mean, so that I can work in the evening. If I, whatever that space is, like if I'm coming to my desk, I need to have light, and I would want flowers. I'm just saying, just
okay,
remind me of what it is that I'm doing, maybe to make a difference in someone's life, and flowers would do that for me. Okay. And Rachel says paintings, prints, and other wall coverings that are relaxing and calming. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. What else do you think we would need?
Okay, Terry and TJ.
Great, clean lines and cool colors. Okay, but I'm also thinking about, how about pictures of women who are prospering, who are uplifted? How about a framed purpose statement? Okay, that I type up on my computer. And if it's important to me, I might go take it to a framer or Michael's or one of them places and get it matted and just some place where I can see it every day, right?
And that's a simple solution. Like I agree that just that one little picture of and if it is to be, it's up to me, just as a saying, or share the whatever it is, inspiring quotes on the wall. Yes,
That's
Rachel,
right,
that's what
Rachel.
I'm
Thank
saying.
you. That's very good. I love that. Yeah, inspiring quotes, because number one, if you're in that kind of business, you've got to have a mindset of being positive, because you got to be positive for these women. You got to be positive enough to go out and fundraise, right? Because you
Hmm.
can't have a nonprofit without fundraising. Yeah,
Correct.
coffee table books. I love it. So you want to have really positive quotes. You want things, there, and you also want to empower yourself, right? To
Yes.
be able to continue with your dream and not give up. So you want those kinds of things around you. For me, which is really, really big, is great stemware. That's it. Okay. The other thing that I think is really cool to have in your environment, and I don't care for what industry you're in, is plants.
Mm,
They're so powerful. They
yes.
not only clean the air, but when we look at them, they give us this really nice healing feeling, right? You know, so you want that. The other thing that I would want is some really nice seating if I could afford that, because I might have to start counseling women or meeting people in my home, and I want really good, comfortable furniture where people can really sit down and really talk and give, a lot of information to me that's going to help me with my nonprofit. Okay. And going back to those quotes, I want to also talk about abundance. I want abundance quotes around me so that when I'm going after grants and all that kind of stuff, you know, the power of abundance. I want abundance. I want all those things. So, you want to have things also in accessibility to you. You want things neat, clean, all those good things. And then you might want colors that empower you. And I always say the best color that empowers you is your favorite color.
That's nice.
So
And
um,
these little nuggets is what I'm calling them right now. I can't think of another name, but they're just enough for you to think about and make a different choice. You understand just what you said about um, nothing broken in your space. Oh my gosh. Then you start looking around like, okay, wait, I need to get you start thinking differently.
yeah,
No.
like, yeah, great example is I have a set of blinds here in my living room. And one of the cleaning lady came in and she just, I guess, cleaned a little too hard on on the blinds. And so the little thing came off and that just bothered me. It just made me go crazy. So I finally replaced it because I was like, I can't, it's just something about the energy of something that's not perfect,
Or not whole.
not whole, just kind of takes something away from the energy of the environment in which I am in. And not that my purpose in life is seeking perfection. No, it is seeking excellence in what I do. So,
That is good because
mhm,
the creator is excellent. He
right.
created things whole.
Mm-hmm.
And so now when we are seeing things that are not whole or it's just not quite finished, that's a distraction and a disconnect. I can see that now. And before I would not have even paid attention to it, like that broken blind is causing a problem, but we never knew that it was causing a problem by having something broken. You understand what I'm saying? You don't know what you don't know.
Right. So you don't know what you don't know. And then the other piece of it is, I am a former urban planner, and that plans neighborhoods and housing, that kind of stuff. So I am so trained when I enter a neighborhood, the first thing I look at is how well the lawn is kept, how well whether there's sheets on the windows or if there's proper window treatments, because these things say something about the people who live inside. Yes. To me. Okay. Yes. And it doesn't matter what income you are or what you have or what you don't have. So for me, a broken blind, if I close it and I'm looking at it from the outside, I'm driving up to my house and I see that, it's just like, but that's just because I have that trained eye about that. I just kind of automatically say, these people don't care, or they're not, their purpose in life, they may be having some challenges determining who they are and what they want from their life. Okay.
They might be in discovery. Let's give them that.
Exactly. And that's a great way to say it. I like that. So yeah,
I agree. But what the thing is that's fascinating for me right now is that it's like an artist. When they paint, they see the shadows and they see all the other things. Most of us just see the picture. We don't see the shadows, and we didn't realize that there was a reflection on the water and all. We didn't see all of that.
Yeah.
You just pointed out the shadows, the things that could be causing us disruption in our lives and in our purpose because our space is not quite lined up with what we want to do. We don't have the pictures or the quotes on the walls leading us to what we want to do. And we really didn't think it was a big deal. However, it was, because
right.
What you don't know. And those things that you don't know could be causing a problem for you.
Correct. Because it's all about perception.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about your purpose. It's all about our mission, all about who we are as individuals, both personally and professionally, and what you value. Okay? It's what you value. So one of the things that this real estate agent does, when she's working with her clients to, find them another home or whatever, she does this, what they call a soul alignment assessment, which is what I do in my design process, which is really cool. And it helps to determine, different things that you want, your goals, your personal goals, your direction, all of those great things. And it kind of makes you kind of think about, how do I want to create this space to be? Or in some cases, she's able to uncover whether or not, based on a person's lifestyle, their purpose, their mission, all of those things, whether they need to move at all and stay where they are and maybe make some changes where they are, or if it would be possible to look for a house that kind of will give them certain things to be able to grow personally and professionally within their purpose.
Wow.
So, a good example of that is she mentioned to me one of her clients was in a efficiency apartment in Washington, D.C., maybe about 300, 400 square feet. He is a professional, it's a condo, and he travels a lot. And he likes the freedom of travel. And he likes the freedom of being able to do, come and go as he pleases. So she recommended at the end of the day, after doing the soul assessment and what he likes to do, what he enjoys and his purpose and all of that, that he didn't need to move. Because if he moved to a bigger place, he'd have more responsibilities, maybe would have to take care of the lawn and all those kinds of things, and it would interfere with his travel schedule. So it's just little things like that.
And she was astute enough to know she wasn't running after the money. She just wanted to make sure her client had the best help and the best advice available.
Exactly. Bingo. That's what it's all about.
Yes.
It is understanding that sometimes you don't have to buy a new house.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can just retrofit, and that's where I come in,
The one you got.
to the one you have, to make it work for you to be able to pursue the goals and things. And one of the things that I'm really excited about, I have a course that's launching actually today, called the Ultimate MySpace course. And in it, I use a lot of these soul searching questions. You know, we did it. Thank you, Terry, for putting that out there. One of the things that we do in that course is get you to think about certain things, about what you want, how you want it, and so forth. And right now, this whole idea of creating sacred space, my time space, all those great things are now trending. It's just, I don't even think I told Terry this, but there's a magazine called Lonnie, Lonny magazine. Hi, Karen. That did this, like the top 10 trends for the year or something. And one of it was creating a my time space. And I was like, ooh, where did they get that from? But anyway, and Oprah magazine, I think in their April or March issue, is going to be talking about some of these concepts. Then I just saw it in a kind of a, woo-woo magazine called Origins magazine, where they're doing a whole feature on sacred space and timeout space and all this stuff. Why is that trending? Why is that important? Okay. All we have to do is look at what's happening on the national stage.
I was just getting ready.
People are stressed out, and they're looking for a place to escape.
And it's not like they would normally go to Aspen or whatever. They want to go home and peace out. Just like, I really need to get some peace here.
Right. Right. And that's getting more and more. It's trending more and more now. And I'm sure Architectural Digest and some of those others are going to start jumping on board. This whole wellness industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you in the beginning of this broadcast, wellness is in my purpose this year, right?
Yes.
So I'm seeking ways to create more wellness and calmness in my life. So to begin this journey in understanding the relationship between purpose and your environment is start with one space.
Mm.
Okay?
I
Start
like that.
with one space. And that space is a personal space. And it could be a corner in your room, a corner in your bedroom, or it could be a corner, or if you're lucky enough to have a spare bedroom or what have you. It doesn't matter how big or small your space is, but let's create that my time space, that timeout space. And with this program that I put together, there's a series of questions that we're asking ourselves. Everything from when I was growing up, what colors did I not like in my mom's house?
Mm.
Okay. To what do we see? What are some things that provoke us to be, to clutter, and some techniques on how to take care of that quickly.
Wow.
Okay. So I'm really excited about this course. It's kind of at your own pace. Okay. We open it up. We have Peaceful and Productive Design School, which this is the first premier course that I've done. We started this out as a beta testing back in November, and I had a couple of students in there, and they're still working on their rooms because it was so deep. It was so much. And I give a bunch of, extras with the course as well. even an opportunity to work one-on-one with me over Skype to even show me your room and tell me, what are some things you're having some challenges with, and I give you some on-the-spot coaching advice on how to create something or to move something here or move something there. So I say to everyone who's listening, check it out. It starts today, February the 6th, and it runs through May the 6th, I think it is. Terry, I'm not sure. I think it is. And it's your own pace course. So there's no rush. And we have several different modules. And I find that is, thank you, the best way to start understanding, what this is all about. And you don't have to put a whole lot of investment in it. Okay, it's really, really cheap. So
I'm going to switch that word. It is affordable. It's approachable.
Affordable. I'm sorry. I don't mean, you're right. We have to, languaging is so important, isn't it?
Yeah, Mary Taylor got in my head just right then. She's Mary talks about she's the word, she's the one with etymology, and everybody in our community here has such valued information, and we've all been the better for it since we've gotten to know one another back a couple of years ago up until now, and our lives have changed and grown because of information like what you're sharing today. I have now direction, because before you can go clean up your house and get everything where you think it's in order, and you don't know why you did it because you just follow you. It's like you copied a room that you saw someplace, but you really didn't have an understanding why you did what you did.
Right.
Now I understand the why of not having anything broken in the house, no clutter, and having things around you that you love. It's like, oh my gosh, like there might be something that you like and you never knew why you just like that old chair with the da-da-da-da. You don't know why you like it, but there's some reason why you like it and you just leave it in the house.
Right.
And then there are other things you're like, whatever.
Right, exactly. And, it's those three things that you just mentioned are the basic fundamentals of what we call feng shui, the ancient Chinese art of placement. And I'm just recycling the concepts to understanding how those things feed into our purpose. And the fourth area is creating sacred space. It is creating that rejuvenation space where you can pray, meditate, whatever fulfills you, that keeps you filled.
Let me point something out. Mm-hmm. Okay, so most of us are familiar with the Bible, and right. Then in the beginning was the earth was chaotic when it started. If you go back to reading the Bible, and I'm not trying to convert anybody, so rocks, people drop your rocks, right. But it was chaotic. Then order was brought in. Mm-hmm. Order goes back to the beginning of the creation. He didn't like stuff out of order. And Sherry, you continue order on for us. Do you understand? You help us maintain order. He created order, and then he created a garden. Now the earth was there, and there was plenty of land and stuff, but then he went further from order and just land being there to a garden, the sacred space. Do you understand?
Whoa, I need to write. Well, I have to get the record, because that's a good lecture right there. What you're talking about,
I was like, oh my gosh, he created the garden.
I love it. Yes.
And he doesn't, like Miles Monroe say, he doesn't like bush. He wants garden. Bush is just stuff growing everywhere. But garden is maintained. It is on purpose. It is manicured. I was like, oh my gosh, Sherry, you keep us in order. the way that yes, Terry, jungle versus garden. He never meant for us to live jungle. He meant for us to live garden, the garden life.
That's right. The garden life. And this is, okay, Karen says, this is why when things is not in order, we feel so confused. Like what's happening now. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at that. I'm just going to leave it.
Whoa.
I mean, oh, yeah, that's a book. Yeah. I mean, and so it's so important when we know who we are and we're not working from the ego. And I define ego as edging God out. Some people may.
Hey.
Okay. So, we're working from, well, this is my purpose and this is this, but that's not, just because you have a job title does not indicate that that's your purpose. Mm-hmm. Okay. There's a bigger purpose for all of our lives.
Yes.
And for some, it takes a long time for us to figure out what that is.
Yes.
For others, it's quicker. There's resources, there's books, there's all kinds of stuff out there to help you work through that. But even just through my course, people will, the participants are discovering that there's bigger purpose in their lives and how that shows up in our spaces. So, I just, want to recommend to folks out there to really kind of look at that and create spaces. Sacred space is so important. And what you just mentioned that was in the Bible, and how to look at that from a standpoint of creating this, these environments for you, is restoring order. That's a powerful. I've never heard anybody put it that way. I mean, it's so interesting this year. I'm just learning so many new things, like just new things just come up, right at me. And I'm like, wow, that's incredible. You know what I'm saying? I love that. You need to bottle that.
But no, because that's yours, because you're doing that.
Yeah.
That's your gift. I don't help people put stuff.
No. But the way that you just described that for people, of different faiths can get that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm very universal in what I talk about, but I love the way you put that. That's just fantastic. So I know we're kind of running out of time.
8 minutes. 8 minutes is a lifetime in TV, I'm telling you.
Oh, okay, great. But I do, Terry just put up the website, which is sherryburtonways.com/MySpace is where you can get the course. And I really highly encourage everyone to take a look at that. The other thing that I wanted to mention, and we could probably go more into this in another show, is understanding how we show up for ourselves and how our environments are supporting us as well. And it kind of goes back to, having things that are not broken, keeping our bodies, minds, and spirits in order, and making sure that, we're living an authentic lifestyle that helps us do that. Now, one of the things that I've started doing to kind of help me become more peaceful and productive is I would wake up every morning and watch a lot of the TV shows. Okay. Especially I got addicted to that during the election process. So now I just don't do that anymore because it keeps me grounded. Yeah. So I thank you, Karen. It keeps me to the point where, okay, that's not the first thing I'm going to hear, because there's a lot of chatter, a lot of craziness, and it was beginning to stress me. Okay. So I think that that's important. It's just basic lifestyle things that we can do for ourselves. I am not. I've decided that I'm not gonna work 12 hours a day. I used to do that. I used to even have clients that expected that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not doing it because I want to honor me. I want to honor my life. So after a certain time, go to sleep. Rest.
See,
Do something.
I agree with Coach Karen. Your first thing that you hear in the morning should be something that you can't share. You can only share what you've been given, right?
Right.
So if the stuff that you get in the morning is the regurgitation of the crap that's going on in the world, pardon my French, I don't want to hear that. I don't need to hear it. The news people do it over and over again. But if the first thing that you have heard was how wonderful you are, how fearfully, wonderfully you've been made, and how you've got purpose that you need to share with the world, and sharing your gift for the world, and you're coming from a place of peace, then I need to hear from you in the morning.
Exactly. And she said on Saturday I was in an argument that I should have been working 24/7. And I had a good laugh. Yeah, well, there's a lot of people out there that says, if you're not grinding, you're not doing it.
So
I've done that grind. I've done the thing. But if you carefully plan each day, carefully plan and figure out what is, necessary and not necessary to achieve your purpose and goals each day, we should not be, I'm just not a big fan of that. I used to be a workaholic, and believe me, folks out there, just talking to you, it is not worth it. Your health, everything.
Mm-mm.
So, and I had to learn the hard way, So now I'm just, I'm achieving my goals. I start out with meditation and affirmations each morning. I've got something posted in my office that kind of reminds me who I am and why I'm doing what I do. And I think that's the most powerful thing that we can do for ourselves. So I invite everybody to really listen to themselves, create the lives that you want. I'm doing that. I'm nowhere near where I want to be. But I know I'm going to get there. I'm working. I've got some really great team people that I'm bringing together, including you guys, and some great things are going to be happening. And if you don't mind, I wanted to mention that about the new book.
Yes, please.
That's going to be coming out probably this fall. September, October, somewhere in there. And I know the last time I talked to you, I had a different title. But we decided on something else. And this is called Landing on Your Feet and Putting Down Roots, 21 Rituals to Transform Your Life and Your Interior Space. So I am you love that, Terry? Yeah, because I had it called Interior Abundance before. But this one, it's
better.
This is great. Yeah, my publisher kind of said, why don't you try this? So, and this is about dealing with transitions, dealing with understanding who you are and creating rituals. And when I say rituals, I kind of use that loosely by talking about, certain things that we take for granted in our homes that are rituals, like making the bed. Okay, well, how do you make a ritual out of creating a serene bedroom and the process of making a bed and what you select for your bed?
See, that is some good stuff right there.
Now,
where can we buy the book right now? You are doing pre-sales? We
will be doing pre-sales by the spring, early summer. Once my cover comes out,
cool.
Approved. I'm working with the publisher now. So probably around April, May, we'll be in a position to do pre-sales. And Terry Johnson will be doing a landing page for me on that. So I'm really, really excited about that book.
And you will come back and talk to us about your book.
Yes, actually.
A few nuggets from the book.
That's my idea. I want to do a web launch on the show.
Okay, very good. We want to,
Yeah.
and we want you to do a web launch on the show. Sherry, thank you so much for taking
Oh,
the
thank
time
you.
to come and to help us. See, and this garden life is going to be, it begins here in our head. And what you did was just open up some things and get us to think differently about our space. And now we understand that our space is, we got to have ordered space. Just like God brought things into order, we need to maintain the order, and you help us to maintain the order. And we appreciate you for that because okay, I'm just not going to talk about my space right now, but I have a different focus now. And
Right.
so we're going to do this. We're going to make sure that we keep this in the forefront. And yeah, I love this.
Well, thank you. And I just wanted to point out what Karen is saying there. This was the right day for you. And Karen, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely
Even though
right.
we were pushing,
No,
trying to do last week, it wasn't for last week. It was for today.
no accidents. There are no accidents.
Thank
Thank
you. You'll be able to catch the replay for a little while on the Fire Talk channel, but then it'll be moving over to our iTunes podcast, just so you know.
Awesome.
Okay,
I'll
thank you.
direct people to it.
And Sherry, I'll make sure you get a copy as well.
All right. Thank you.
All right, bye everybody. Thank you.